Hello and welcome to another video. Thank you very much for clicking on it. Today we will be taking a look at beginners wild camping options. So we'll be looking at the kit you should look at, where to find bargains new, where to find bargains used, the kit that I've been buying and the things that have worked out well for me, maybe some things that haven't worked out so well for me, the places you can find information or other information to help you along the way, and some of the common barriers you'll face when looking to get into wild camping. So between 2014 and I'd say 2016, I had quite a spell with camper vans. Secretly, I really wanted to go wild camping. I joined the Facebook group UK Wildcamping in 2016, which was a bit of a shock to me because I didn't actually get out and start camping until 2019. Now, a few different reasons for that. The pictures that are going to inspire you to get into wild camping are all going to be taken by people that have been doing it probably for quite some time. So you're going to look at the kit they're using and perhaps you might be a little bit overwhelmed at the price. It's really important to know that you don't have to spend a fortune to get into wild camping. There are bargains available. There are budget options as well as very, very expensive options for people looking to do higher mountains, camp on summits, exposed locations and so on. But you really don't have to spend a lot of money at all to get out and enjoy yourselves. So I'm going to talk you through some of the options that I've used, some of the bargains, and of course some of the other places and channels you can get this information from. Now we can easily break this down into a few different categories. First is how you're going to sleep. Are you going to be looking at using a tent? Will you be looking at using a hammock? You could do bivvying. The other thing to look at is when you get the tent, how will you be sleeping within the tent? Will you be using an inflatable mat? Will you be using a roll mat? And how will you be feeding yourself? So eating, sleeping, and what you're sleeping on. And then we're going to go from there. On my first camp, I camped at Llyn, which is in the Brecon Beacons. A beautiful spot I've returned to many times. I've taken friends back to. Very, very simple walk, and I did it probably underprepared, but I had the time of my life and everything that I've done has stemmed from there. So I took with me an Oex Phoxx 2 tent, which I also have a review of my channel on. I took an Oex sleeping bag, an Oex sleep mat. I know, Oex everything pretty much, but most people are going to head to Go Outdoors for these items. Go Outdoors frequently have sales where you can pick them up a lot cheaper, so this is what I did. As well as that, I didn't look at the cooking options. The cooking options just confused me too much, so I ended up taking a Tesco £3 meal deal with me. But I will discuss stoves and camping cooking options for you as well, because if you're going to be going out 3 or 4 times and buying a Tesco meal deal every single time, you're probably better off buying some sort of stove and providing a bit of food for yourself when you're out on these journeys. The tent I opted for first, after probably 3 months of deciding, was the Oex Phoxx 2 tent from Go Outdoors. I paid £60 or £70 for the tent, and I think I really lucked out. It stood up to some serious weather, and the new model has now been priced at £120, and I think that actually reflects what it's capable of. Most tent manufacturers are a bit optimistic. This being a 2-man tent, 2 men in here would actually be a bit of a squeeze. There's a 1-man alternative, and these 1-man alternatives are often a lot smaller, but they're obviously going to be cheaper than the 2-man option. But if you are someone new to wild camping and just looking to sort of test the waters as such, just go for the 1-man option. The 1-man option will cost you less, way less, and obviously be easier to carry up the hills. So as I've mentioned, mine is the 2-man. This is the 1-man. It's 1.6 kilograms as opposed to 2.2, and a solid little 1-man tent. As these are the new models, Facebook Marketplace, Gumtree, and eBay will be full of second-hand ones all for sale. Look out and grab yourself a bargain. However, if this one doesn't take your fancy, head over to Blacks, Millets, Go Outdoors, or Decathlon and search 1- and 2-man tents. Once you do find one you like, head over to the forums and the groups I mentioned earlier and ask the right questions. Ask people what they think of the tent and about their experiences. Also look on here on YouTube to see the tent in use. If budget isn't so much of a concern, I'd recommend heading over to Paul Messner's YouTube channel and taking a look at some of his content. He'll certainly point you in the right direction with regards to tents. Now with sleeping bags, it really is a case of you get what you pay for. For your first wild camp, I'd probably recommend going out in June, July and August, where those nighttime temperatures aren't going to trouble you so much and drop down too low. All sleeping bags will come with a comfort rating and a comfort limit. This is the temperature the manufacturer expects it to be able to cope in. This isn't something you really want to be caught out with, so always take extra layers and be prepared to buy a better bag for those cold winter months. Again, check the for sale sites. Many will have bought these and just used them once for something like a Duke of Edinburgh, so there's always bargains to be had. Underneath your sleeping bag, you should think about adding a roll mat or an inflatable mat. This will keep you warm and also help you get a comfier night's sleep. Again, it is a case of you get what you pay for. If you're anything like me and sleep anywhere after a beer, then a normal roll mat will suffice, but I opted for something like the one on the left here. The cheaper ones tend to weigh more, and the more expensive ones are very well engineered to add extra heat during the night. This is my one next to my hoop bivvy. Lastly, let's talk about cooking on the hills. Effectively, we've got two choices, gas or alcohol. So this is an alcohol stove, cost around £10 on Amazon. You need to add meth or bioethanol. You can then place on top a frying pan or a pot to boil water or cook food. I've genuinely been really impressed with this bit of kit. I'll be using it on my next outing, which is going to be a show us your steak challenge. It should be all about mental health. Your other option is going to be the gas stove, which looks something like this. Mine is the Oex Etna Mini, which cost around £13, and then you're looking at around £5 for gas as well. Probably a safer option. And lastly, don't forget you're going to need something to cook or boil your water up in. So there's loads of choice with regards to this. eBay, Amazon, you'll be spoilt for choice. Just find something that works for you. And one last tip is to check out these bad boys. The best thing I ever bought. And once you've got the right kit to go out, ask on the groups I mentioned earlier, check out YouTube, maybe even do a little hike in the area you're planning on camping in. Make sure you're familiar with it first, and you're all set. You'll really enjoy it, I promise you. And once you do it, you'll never look back. I certainly haven't. So thanks very much for watching. Really looking forward to showing you guys some really cool adventures once lockdown ends. And if you haven't subscribed already, it would be really appreciated. Thanks very much all. Stay safe.